Hey, J-Bro's popping in. Basically, first thing I'm looking for when or if I was going to buy this rig used, obviously, I want to hear it fire up. That's a number one. You can look at all this stuff, and I guess you can do it whatever order you want, but until you fire it up and you hear it, um, you know, you'll know. With that being said, before I fire it up, because I want to fire that up off of recording, basically I'm just going to look around at the lines. If something's well maintained, it's well maintained. You can just see right around here. Very simple. I guess one thing on the CRT23 that I would do is I would immediately just feel the idlers just to see if those are ground down, because whether the guy has got a new track on it or not a new track, I would find out which track he bought, just so you got some insight, and you can do some recon on whatever track that is. There's really nothing that you're going to be able to pick up, I don't think, unless it's blatantly obvious with, the track stuff. I don't see much there. You can see if something's been greased, like, I've got grease stuff here. You can just kind of see if stuff's basically been taken care of. I'd go up in here, just all this stuff is just quick and seeing, okay, is there much separation on this? Is there much separation on this one? You can see where I've got a little separation down here, and I might have to address this with a flare down here. But, like I've addressed it here, but more than likely, used machine's not going to have all these extras that mine has. But you're looking at hoses, all that stuff. You can pop the hood, and just basically say, okay, is this rig clean inside? Just, okay, you kind of look at mine. This is 2 years old. I'd say if somebody came looked at my rig, they'd say, shoot, that's pretty clean. So, you can kind of tell if a guy's maintained stuff. So really, as a walkthrough, I mean, you can check the fluids and stuff like that, but if a guy's been running it, it doesn't mean when you get home with it, I'm swapping those fluids pretty much right away, because you might as well start new and fresh with your machine. Hey, I've got a brand new filter on it. I got brand new fluids throughout the whole thing. I wouldn't run it at all or much at all with whatever the previous owner has done. That doesn't mean they didn't take good care of it. That just means that you're starting fresh with your machine, and you can basically say, hey, my X amount of hours is my 0 hour point. As far as the quick connects, just pull and look at them, because really you don't want to get right away and just see one of these that's busted or something, because these are like $50 a piece or something. So just do a quick cap pop off and look at them. But really, if it's boiling down to me, the main test, which I'm going to do now, is I'm going to fire this up, and I got to do that off recording because I want you to hear what it sounds like in case you're not used to it. And like I say, this probably goes for most of the machines. And like I said, once again, you're looking at my machine. Pretty clean, 2 years old. I stay on top of my stuff. So with that being said, let me get this fired up so you can hear what you're listening for. Okay, like I said, this is what I'm waiting for if I'm basically going out to buy a used rig. Okay, we're going to go up, turn the master power on. I want to fire this up. I put it basically half throttle, full choke, probably cold starting, and let her rip. And you hear how smooth that engine runs? Like I said, this is 207 hours. That's how it should sound. And it should start up super easy, especially the guy's probably going to have it warmed up for you, more than likely. Next thing I would do, okay, it sounds like it's running good. And I'm just going to do a little test here in the shop. I want to test out all the handles on it. And basically, as you can see there, everything should be super responsive. You know, I had it, the first spin around I did was using both joysticks. So I had both joysticks activated going in reverse. Same way the other way. And then the last time I did it, I just had the left joystick activated, and then same thing with the right one. And basically what you're checking there is just the response time and feel time of the controls. And then the reason why you want to just kind of buzz straight forward and buzz straight back to make sure that the tracks are kind of in sequence with you know, with each other when you're driving. So really, you know, as I mentioned before, and of course, you know, you're just going to want to go here, check your electronics, you know, horn, you know, fan, stuff like that, lights. Just do your due diligence and stuff like that, because obviously if your electronics don't come on, well, obviously you're probably not going to start it, you know what I'm saying? And you want to make sure that your oil light ain't on, but more than likely a guy's going to have that taken care of, least you would think. And the other thing is, which once again, you know, let's say you got a leaky drive motor or something like that, I mean, do your best to try to do your best due diligence to look for anything and everything that's obvious, but it boils back down to it. You got to fire it up. If it fires up and it sounds as good as mine just sounded, more than likely you're going to be good to go for the most part. I would also say if the guy's got the machine super clean, after you do run it a little bit, do another walkthrough around and see if there's anything that's obvious. Once again, I would assume the person's probably going to have, the machine's going to be outside, so you're not really going to be able to see, oh, has this machine been leaking? Because more than likely any of that stuff is been wiped down or anything like that. But I guess you kind of got to trust the seller a little bit, but then also trust your instincts. Because if you do see something wrong, where let's say one arm is not lifting in sequence with one another, you'll be able to, you know, you'll be able to feel that and see that from the machine. So you're sitting in there, you'll want to watch your arms go up and, you know, bucket go down. You'll want to see that everything's kind of working in unison. But it's really not that complicated of a machine. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. My personal self, I've been looking for CRT23 that basically would be almost trashed out. What I would love to do is get a hold of one of these, and let's say the engine's blown, and I'd love to either put a diesel engine in it if it could fit in here. It might or might not, but I would like to upgrade maybe to a 30 horsepower engine, bigger pump, just for basically fun purposes of it. But you know, I just haven't come across one. Yeah, other than that, you know, if it fires up and it sounds good, well, that means the engine should be good. And like I said, after that, what you do is when you get home, I mean, you go through all my other videos that I've got. You know, I'm changing fluids. I'm treating it like I just bought a brand new mini skid, and I need to go through all the things to make sure I'm doing my due diligence to have the machine last as long as humanly possible. But, excuse me. But honestly, I was hoping to be a little bit more helpful for the next individual to buy one of these. But it's really boils down to, how do the controls feel? How responsive are the controls? Does the engine sound good? So on and so forth. You know, like I said, do your quick walk around. Make sure there's nothing obvious. But after that, I think you're buying a great machine, and I would buy another one in a heartbeat. If there's any questions you guys got out there that I didn't touch base on, please reach out, comment down below. And yeah, happy skidding. J-Bros out.